Good evening and welcome to the March 7th Council meeting. If you'd please stand, Councilman Burton is going to lead us in the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Our first issue this evening is a proclamation for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics National Nutrition Month, March 2023. I'd like to call up Brittany Zarcal, Healthy Chino Coordinator with the City of Chino, and Javier Chiarte, Director of Nutrition Services with the Chino Valley School District. Hello. And the proclamation reads, whereas on behalf of the citizens of Chino, I am pleased to join the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, Community Services Department, and Chino Valley Unified School District in an effort to focus attention on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits. Food is the substance by which life is sustained, and the type, quantity, and quality and amount of food individuals consume each day plays a vital role in their overall health and physical fitness. There is a need for continuing nutrition education and a wide-scale effort to enhance healthy eating practices. The City of Chino provides nutrition and physical education through Healthy Chino and its Healthy Chino Kids program at SOAR and High Five after-school sites. The City of Chino offers an environment for the community to grow and harvest fruits and vegetables through the city-operated Chino Community Garden. And the City of Chino supports after-school gardens and discovery workshops, which create an environment for children and adults to learn how to grow fruits and vegetables and understand the nutritional benefits. And whereas the Chino Valley Unified School District participates in the National School Lunch Program that encourages students to eat healthy and complete meals. The choices are a hot entree, milk, fruit, and a vegetable. So now, therefore, I, Eunice Emiloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim March 2023 as National Nutrition Month in the City of Chino and encourage all citizens to join the campaign and become concerned about their nutrition and the nutrition of others in the hope of achieving optimum health for both today and tomorrow.
Thank you, Mayor Ulloa and members of the council for this proclamation. In addition to the many programs Mayor Ulloa listed, we also host various events and meetings throughout the year to address health topics, including nutrition. So one of those is our Healthy Family Day event coming up on April 1st. It's a health fair style event that hosts informational booths as well as fun, interactive physical activities to keep families fit and healthy food options. We also host 3 Healthy Chino Coalition meetings a year, which invite local organizations and businesses from our community here to address various health topics, including nutrition, and how we can implement different programs and policies into the community to address that. So we look forward to continuing to provide healthy and fun options for our community to thrive. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. We proudly, in Nutrition Services for the Chino Valley School District, we proudly serve thousands of nutritious meals to thousands of kids daily. And this year, with the participation and enrollment in community eligibility provision and universal feeding, every student is welcome to come and eat a nutritious breakfast and a nutritious lunch free of cost. So no student in the Chino School District gets charged for their meals. So I encourage parents to encourage their students to swing by our cafeterias, try one of our nutritious meals, and see what we do best, and that's feeding students. Okay.
Thank you for being here. Oops, picture. I always forget the picture. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Okay, next is Business of the Month, February 2023. Every community has that meeting spot, that gathering place that everyone knows. This month's winner firmly believes that dining should always be a special occasion and that its staff will ensure your experience falls nothing short of extraordinary. It's this type of a hospitality that holds this local business so dear to our hearts. For the month of March 2023, we would like to recognize Los Portales Mexican Restaurant as our business of the month. Sandra Ayala and Cynthia Itzel is joining me up in front. You beat me to the punch.
I'm sorry. We're excited.
For over 19 years, the Ayala family has owned and operated Los Portales in Chino and has served delicious and authentic recipes originating from sombrete. Okay, well, all right. Zacates. I'm really messing up these words. Okay, you say it.
Sombrerete, Zacatecas.
Yep, see? Mexico. Los Portales name comes from a well-known downtown area of this quaint city, literally meaning the arches or portals. Is known for its evening strolls, romantic meetings by the garden, and a hangout spot with friends. The Ayala family loves helping the Chino community, from hosting fundraisers for schools, churches, and law enforcement and nonprofits to supporting an annual toy drive and much more. Los Portales loves the close-knit family that is the community of Chino. The Ayala family makes it a point to promote other neighboring businesses on social media and encourages others to visit and support other restaurants in the city. When the Ayala family moved to Chino in 1989, they were immediately drawn to the town's small-town charm and close-knit community. As time passed, they became fully immersed in the community, forging meaningful connections with me, the mayor, city council members, school board officials, police department personnel, and chamber of commerce representatives. These strong relationships reaffirmed their decision to make Chino their home. We want to congratulate Los Portales Mexican Restaurant for being recognized as our March 2023 Business of the Month. I want to thank you for investing in our community and providing an outstanding dining experience to the city of Chino. You are truly an asset to our community. And we want to present you with this plaque. Congratulations, Los Portales Mexican Restaurant, March 2023 Chino Business of the Month. And the city of Chino thanks you for being part of our Chino community.
Thank you so much. Well, I think you kind of said everything for us. So we just want to thank the community for allowing us to be here for over 19 years now. And, we do love our Chino community a lot. So thank you so much. And it is Taco Tuesday, so don't forget to join us.
Thank you very much. Oops.
Thank you.
It is a favorite place for many, many to go. You'll find a lot of our officers there at any time of the day and night, as well as the community. Thank you very much. And I'm not sure that there's anybody here representing the family, but our Home Beautification Award goes to Bedard Otiza Family Trust. Address is 11555 Vernon Avenue. They have an absolutely beautiful home. I think, they'll show the picture. We'll get them the photo and the plaque and the yard sign and all of that. Next, recognition of Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce for Western Association of Chamber Executives Award and Upscale Chino Program Update. Our very own Zeb Wellborn, President and CEO of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce, he has been named the Executive of the Year by the Western Association of Chamber Executives. This prestigious award recognizes Zeb's outstanding leadership and dedication to advancing the interests of businesses in the community and the community in the Chino Valley. Under Zeb's leadership, the Chamber has been instrumental in modernizing the Chamber building, hosting job fairs, and developing programs such as leadership development, economic development, workforce development, and entrepreneurship development. The Chamber has also received a $2.1 million grant in funding for its upscale Chino Valley program and CVCC pitch competition. Now that is amazing. In addition to the Executive of the Year recognition, the Chamber was awarded Outstanding Program of the Year for their upscale Chino Valley program and received an honorable mention for Outstanding Chamber Video. These awards are a testament to the Chamber's mission of upskilling the Chino Valley and its commitment to supporting its members and local businesses. Zeb's dedication and passion for building a better community for the Chino Valley and its people are inspiring, and he has helped create a chamber that is vital to the success of local businesses. I want to thank Zeb, the chamber staff, board of directors, membership, and community leaders who have supported Zeb and the chamber in doing great things. Congratulations to Zeb Wellborn and the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce on this well-deserved recognition. We look forward to continuing our efforts to upskill the Chino Valley and build a stronger community. And Zeb, I'd like to present you this certificate of congratulations. You are an amazing executive. Now, I've been involved in the city for a very long time, and I've seen many different execs of the chamber. We have never had anyone as proactive, as successful, as forceful as Zeb Wellborn, and he is the most delightful person with the most delightful family. Zeb, I would like to ask you to have your family come up with you. Come on, all of you. Yes, I also have a certificate for the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce also and the programs. But look at this family. How could you not just absolutely love it? Zeb, introduce your family.
Okay, so yes, this is my wife, Cindy. This is my son, Sebastian, my daughter, Elena, and my son, Leonardo. So yes, we do work hard, and it is thanks to these guys that makes us want to work hard. So thank you guys for being an amazing family. Thank you. Sure. I can do that. Cindy's ready to go. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Can we give these guys a round of applause? Thank you, son. Thank you, son. Yes. So, the organization that presented us this award is called the Western Association of Chamber Executives. It covers the western half of the United States and Canada. It represents 800 cities across the country, we were recognized, I was recognized as Executive of the Year, even though I've only been in this role for 4 years. I think most of the people that win those awards have been in for a lifetime. And the other thing that I would like to comment on about that is I'm definitely the youngest. I'm definitely one of the newest in the industry. But then it's also we're competing against these large metropolitan areas too, the LA Chamber, the Vegas Chamber. Just as an example, when we were talking about the video awards. So there's three chambers that won awards, and they showed each one of them on the screen, and so ours was shown up there. And the very next, and then it was in the back of the chamber building when we got our check for $1 million. And then the very next video was on the 50-yard line in the Las Vegas Chamber and how they were promoting their businesses. So there's a big dichotomy between the two, but the fact that we're doing this great work in the Chino Valley is being recognized across the country, and it's something I'm extremely proud of. And it doesn't happen with me myself. It happens with the support of our city. It happens with the support of our businesses. We're really glad to see Sandra and Los Portales win this recognition for tonight. We also have a lot of volunteers that step up, so can I do some shout-outs real quick? Cool. Yeah, so can we do that? Can I have our board of directors come up here? As they're coming up, I'll just highlight that our board of directors, these are all volunteer. These are all people who own their own businesses. They volunteer their time to help guide the direction of the chamber and help make us make smart decisions as a business community. So I want to give a big shout out and say thank you to our board of directors, because they advise us on all that stuff that we've been doing. So basically they tell me what to do and then I go do it, and that's how we get awards and stuff. I also want to bring up we have an ambassador team. So these are folks that take their time. They are also volunteers. They are also business owners, and they go out in the community to try to help get businesses aware of the chamber, the work that we do. So can I have our ambassadors come up here to you? And then we also have an amazing staff. So our staff works tirelessly, and then we've grown a lot. So we mentioned, I took over 4 years ago. We had I was part-time. We had 2 part-time staff. We've now grown to 6 full-time staff, 2 part-time staff. They do phenomenal work. And the reason why we get this recognition is because of the hard work that they put into the work that they do. So can I have our staff come up here too? And we just started, one of the things with our Upskill Chino Valley program is a leadership program that we put together, and this is our very first year, and I want to thank all of you who have committed your time and effort and energy to support that effort. But we do have some folks that are in our very first leadership collaborative here, so if you wouldn't mind coming up here. So Chris is in our leadership collaborative. Judith is also a volunteer coordinator for our leadership collaborative, so come on up. And those are all the folks that I want to give the shout outs to. I'd love to take a photo of our group up here if that'd be cool. But let's get in nice and close, get in nice and tight. Thank you very much. And sure. And I know I'm going to give a presentation, but one more thank you, as my parents are here as well. So Mom, Dad. Yes, thank you. So those of you that are also here, you get to hear a presentation about our Upskill Chino Valley program too. So as that is getting set up there, I guess what I'll start to articulate is I took over the chamber about 4 years ago. I will say that it was struggling, for lack of a better term, and so we work. I wanted to work and return and make it like the business organization that represents business in our community and does a substantial job at doing that. We were working really well, and then March 2020 hit, and then that was a very strong transition for the chamber, but that was a time where I really feel like we stepped up and made a difference in our community. One of the things that our business, there was so much uncertainty for especially those first couple of weeks that we worked day and night to send out communications, correspondence, connect with leaders in our community, and make sure that people were aware of the programs and resources available to them. And so through that work, we helped secure about $300 million worth of PPP loans for our region. We helped advocate for funding to support our businesses while they were shut down. And then we also helped when the businesses reopened, making sure that businesses knew which ones were open, making sure our customers knew, or our residents knew where they could go. And so we're kind of at the driving force of making sure that our business community was staying as strong as it possibly could despite those unique circumstances that we all faced. And as a result, a lot of businesses have stepped up their support with the chamber, and they've stepped up, like our board of directors. We have a lot more sponsors that are supporting the chamber in our efforts, and so we're getting a lot more support from our business community to do the work that we do. And that allows us, and so when we're getting those investments, what it allows us to do is it allows us to do much more creative, interesting things that are substantially impacting our community. And so one of those things is the Upskill Chino Valley program. So with the advice of our board of directors, we put together this program that we thought would make a substantial impact here locally. And one of the challenges coming out of COVID was, and this was something that was not new because of COVID, but COVID made it, exacerbated the problem, was the workforce shortage that all of our businesses are facing. And so every business, you'll see help wanted signs everywhere. It's going to be an issue that's going to be facing our community and communities across the country for a while. It's mostly due to the fact that a lot of the older generation is leaving the workforce, and there isn't as much people coming into to fill those roles that have been left there. And so it's a population shortage more than anything, but we have roles that need to be filled, and if we want our community to stay economically vibrant and strong, we need to make sure we work towards that. So that's the program that we pitched. So it was entrepreneurship development, it was economic development, it was workforce development, and leadership development. So we want to create programming around these 4 things. We pitched that to a bunch of our electeds and local leaders and a lot of our organizations, and we were very fortunate that we had a lot of our elected leaders that saw the vision and value of what we're providing. So I want to thank Supervisor Kurt Hagman, State Senator Connie Leyva, Assemblymember Freddie Rodriguez for taking that investment in the work that we're doing, and that has allowed us to help advance the interest in our region. So I'm going to show some examples of some of the things that we've done with those funds. So Renee is our Workforce Development Director. So she's helping our businesses secure funds through these on-the-job training programs. The county has there's lots of different grant programs, but the county has one that when a new business is looking for a new employee and they bring that new employee on, but they don't have the skills that are required to do the job, the county will pay for 3 months or half of the wages for an employee for the first 3 months as they get trained on the job. And so it's something that not a lot of businesses are aware of just because they're busy running their business. So we have to do proactive outreach to make sure that businesses know that this is a resource that's available to them. So that's one of the things that Renee does on a consistent basis as she goes out. So she secured $70,000 for Chino-based businesses and helped 10 different businesses receive those types of funding. But there is some hoops that you have to jump through. So not only that, but she's still finding people jobs that are not in those on-the-job training funds because they don't have those skill gaps or whatever it might be. So with our workforce development, we're doing job fairs, we're doing career expos for our youth. We've placed, one of Renee's jobs is also placing people in a one-on-one capacity into jobs. So she's placed more than 100 people in jobs locally. That's Chino residents and Chino-based businesses. We've held a ton of different job fairs, but 2 of them have been at the Chaffey College Chino Community Center. And then that last one, we had 267 job seekers and over 30 businesses that were hiring there. And then at the event itself, we had 10 people hired on the spot. And when we're talking with these folks that get hired, I mean, it's like life-changing for them. We've had a lot of people articulated just the fact that they didn't have an opportunity to find a job anywhere, and now they're getting access to these jobs that we help facilitate. Entrepreneurship development is another one of those things that we've been working on pretty heavily. We started with the pitch competition about 3 years ago, so I know I've brought it up here a couple of times, but it's a Shark Tank type pitch competition, and it's been growing year over year. So this last year, I want to say we had about 30 students participate. Finalists were chosen, and they presented at the shops at Chino Hills. We gave $5,000 worth of funds to help these young entrepreneurs either get started in an entrepreneurial career or put towards their future. We've also been working very heavily with the Student Pathway Program with Chino Valley Unified School District, and so Nicole is right there. Nicole has done some phenomenal work working with the school district and setting up opportunities for our youth to get connected with adults who are owners of businesses or who are passionate about the work that they do, to give them that exposure into the fields that they might be interested in pursuing as they get older. So we've had 72 internship opportunities are available to high school students that Nicole has helped facilitate. We have 22 of those have been placed in actual internship roles already, but we do have opportunities. So for our youth that are out there, if you're looking for an internship, Nicole has set up the ones that she's set up so far with the healthcare industry. So there are 30 students at Chino Hills High School in a class. It's a healthcare class. They have to get these internship opportunities, so we're setting those up for those students. And then she's also put together this kids entrepreneurship fair, and if you haven't been, I strongly encourage you to do it. It's just an awesome thing. There's about 80 kids booths. They set it up at the shops at Chino Hills. They're selling their products and services that they make with their own hands, and so it's a really cool thing to experience buying products from these young entrepreneurs, selling stuff that they make with their own ingenuity. We also do business workshops and roundtables and business workshops and roundtables. So we work on training businesses. We have professionals and experts in their fields come in and talk to our businesses about how to improve different aspects of their business. We do this on a weekly basis. We have stuff in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening to help facilitate those that are looking to grow their business but might not have the skills or ability to do it. So we plan these training courses to help our businesses get trained and grow. We also set up mentorship opportunities. So we set up one-on-one mentors with people who have established businesses, with people who are just starting out. I mentioned our leadership collaborative when I was up there too. So we have this, and I'm really excited about what we've put together. So we have 25 participants that are going through it this year. These are business owners, these are organizational leaders, but the whole goal is we're connecting our community together, like bringing leaders together, connecting them so that if things do go wrong or if we're trying to put together some initiative, every single person in these organizations has a contact point that they can reach to get the ball rolling, to collaborate, work together, solve community issues together. And so the types of folks that we have in there are police, fire, medical, government, education, nonprofit, our police and fire. And then we also set it up, so because we're doing that, we also decided why not do one for our youth? So when we go and visit these, so basically the way that it works is we'll go visit a location. We've came here to the city of Chino, so people got a chance to see what happens in city government. This last one that we did, we went to some logistics and manufacturing businesses to see what they do behind the scenes. And then, so we take students that go to, and they visit the last spot that we go to. And so we have a group of 20 student leaders from across Chino Valley Unified School District that get a chance to experience what our adult leaders experience. And then we've also been doing what I'll say economic development, and that's bringing businesses together. So we have these roundtable discussions to figure out what are the things that we can do to help solve problems that different sectors are facing. So we've had roundtables with manufacturers. We've had it around a topic like a bill that was going to be detrimental to some of our businesses. We've had it around with the mayor of Chino Hills. We've had it with different legislators. The one that we have coming up is going to be women-owned businesses. So it's in honor of Women's History Month. We're going to bring in women business owners. It's for members, non-members. We're here to help all businesses. And so we're getting them together to discuss what are the issues you're facing in your business and how can we work to solve those problems. That picture is from one we did at Chino Valley Medical Center, where we got our healthcare industry and around the table to figure out what are some things that we could do to solve it. And they're all struggling with the nurse shortage. And so how do we create opportunities to bring in more nurses here locally? So we come up with action. So basically we come up with action items from those events, and then we take action to make sure that we are doing something that is going to help that particular issue that they express. So this is kind of like what we put together with our Upskill Chino Valley program just as a whole, what we presented to our legislators, what we said we were going to do. We're planning on doing these tons of events, placing 1,000 people. This is a 7-year program, by the way. So the funding received is in theory for 7 years. So putting on the number of events per year, placing people in jobs, doing job fairs, helping retain and grow businesses, our Chino Valley Leadership Collaborative. And so those are the numbers of people we plan on serving, how inexpensive it is for the amount of work that we're really doing. And the way that I want to kind of articulate this is when you invest in the work that we're doing, there's a substantial return on investment for the community as a whole. So it's not like we're doing this as a supportive services. It's more like we're helping the bottom line of the businesses we work with, but also the communities that we work with. Because we're helping businesses grow, we're helping people find jobs, we're helping our community thrive, and that's the stuff that I would like to articulate. I want to share one thing that we're working on for the future. So the Upskill Chino Valley program is programmatic, meaning we're doing lots of programs around it. Well, we've kind of identified, because we're doing all of that work, we've kind of identified that there's an opportunity for us to really think like big picture wise, how do we help this workforce in our community get bigger, better, and stronger? So it's working with employers. And this is a U.S. Chamber-run program. So Renee and I are in this program that was picked up by the U.S. Chamber. There's a handful of folks working in workforce development from across the country. So we were both selected from a very competitive process to participate in this. And now we're going to go this training in the next couple of months on talent pipeline management. Essentially, it's like overseeing the whole workforce pipeline, connecting with businesses, identifying what is the pay, what is the job like, what are the skills needed to complete that job, so what do they need in order to do that, so that we can work backwards and inform people that are pursuing careers what those paths look like, how much they're going to get paid if they reach the end, what are the skills that they need to develop along the way, and where are the locations that they can develop those skills. So there's a lot of different moving pieces to that, but there's an overarching framework and plan that we feel would work really well here in Chino and Chino Hills. And so that's something we want to pursue moving forward. I want to give some like specific kind of case study examples. So here's one. So we have Rhonda here. Rhonda is an example of somebody who took advantage of our on-the-job training funds. They hired Marissa through the on-the-job training program. It was at a job fair, right? So we hosted a job fair. She found Marissa at a job fair. Marissa's gone up the ranks and is now like your sales manager. Is that accurate? She's moved up in the sales roles. So that's something that we've helped facilitate. And Marissa is a very active part of the community, active part of the chamber. And from all I understand is things are going great, yeah? And ServPro, we'll just highlight ServPro since they're here. So Rhonda is the owner of ServPro. She's also on our board of directors. But I know that her business has grown immensely from the impact that we've had with the on-the-job training and support, and that Renee and her work very closely. And that's allowed your business to grow. We've also helped businesses kind of stay open and pursue programs. At Skander Law Firm, they were as a grant that we notified them of an opportunity that he applied for and received in order to get some funds in to help offset some of the losses he had experienced over the years before. And actually, I'm not 100% of the details on that one.
Yeah, and then he also had an on-the-job training as well.
Oh, and he also hired somebody from the on-the-job training program. And then business expansion, student hires is another example. Manuel, he's also in that leadership collaborative program, but he's hired about 12 people through the on-the-job training program. His business has grown substantially. He's doing a lot of work with youth in our community, and so he's hired a lot of young professional or college students to help tutor younger students in our community. So he's been able to do that because of the on-the-job training funds. And then I guess I just want to kind of highlight that we're doing good work, you know. We have a... So thank you for recognizing that. I do appreciate it. But we have a really good team. I've received a lot of recognition just from the work that we're doing in the chamber industry. So the stuff that's on like the top there, oh, there we go. Oh, it didn't work. The stuff that's on the top is things that the WACE has kind of recognized me with the work that we've been doing. Renee is our workforce development director, and she's been picked up for a lot of different recognition for the work that she's been doing around workforce development. And then we've also run together with a lot of different programs. We've done it, and obviously our communities recognize that. So this is one of the things when we did go to that conference, the thing that they stressed over and over again is that your business community is only as strong as, or a strong business community creates a strong community for all. And so if your business community isn't strong, your community is probably going to suffer. And so we want to make sure that we create the strongest business community that we can here because we want to see a strong local community thrive. And then lastly, you want to know, I mean, we're a Chamber of Commerce, so we host a lot of events. So here's our big upcoming events. We have our Salute to Public Safety on April 4th. So if you haven't registered for that, I strongly encourage you to. We do have our Taste of Chino Valley, which is planned in June. And then this is something that's new for us. We're going to be doing our first ever Chino Valley Women's Conference. I think the post is going out tomorrow. Yeah, so we're going to be announcing that tomorrow. It's going to be on August 10th, and that will be our first local Chino Valley Women's Conference. So I would love for you all to participate in that as well. With that, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good to go?
Thank you very much, Zeb, for the update, and congratulations on the accolades for you and the chamber. Well deserved. Okay, we did have closed session prior to the council meeting beginning, and so I would like to ask for a report out of that session from our attorney.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and for everyone present. The city council met in closed session and held a discussion as to item number 1 on the closed session portion of the agenda, specifically conference with legal counsel, one item of existing litigation, item of Martin Rodriguez versus City of Chino. The City Council was briefed by Attorney Sonia Salinas of the Atkinson Andelson firm, provided direction and no further reportable action was taken. The City Council has not had an opportunity to conclude its discussions on items number 2 and 3 as previously announced for a closed session, and will reconvene after the open session. So it would be appropriate to withhold the report on those 2 items until after the council reconvenes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. City Manager Wright, do we have any agenda changes or modifications?
No changes tonight, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have written information on our legislative policy. I invite you all to read that. Under public announcements, Chino Days. First, I would like to remind everyone that Chino Days is happening right here on the City Hall lawn on Saturday, March 18th from 12 noon to 9 p.m. and Sunday, March 19th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is an outstanding event that allows our citizens to enjoy each other's company with great food and music, including the Mariachi Divas on Saturday, March 18th from 6:30 to 8:30, and No Doubt Tribute Band on Sunday, March 19th from 2:45 to 4:45. So please make sure you come out and experience the many cultures that make up our vibrant community. For more information, please call 909-334-3258. Also happening on Saturday, March 18th is our free compost and mulch giveaway from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Chino Public Works Services Yard located at 5050 Schaefer Avenue. This event will be held on the first-come, first-served basis to Chino residents. Be prepared to show your identification and utility bill. Also, residents are limited to a half yard of each material depending on availability. We ask that you bring a shovel and durable containers to load and transport the material. Although these products do not contain chemicals, gloves and eye protection are recommended, and non-Chino residents can attend during the last hour of the event if materials are still available. For more information, please call 909-334-3282. Lastly, on Saturday, March 25th, the Preserve Community Center, located at 15800 Main Street in the Preserve, will host Ball and Brunch from 9 to 1. This free event will include youth basketball shooting contests, open gym basketball, healthy snacks, recreation program information booths, and prizes. For more information, please call 909-334-3261. Okay, next, under public communication, this is the time and the place for the general public to address the council about items that are not on the agenda elsewhere. Our first written request to speak is Rob Burns, our Director of Finance, who would like to lead us in an invocation. I'd invite all those who would like to participate to please stand.
Thank you, Mayor and members of City Council. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, Lord Jesus, we just thank you for the provision that you provide for us. We most recently thank you for the rains that have come and are healing our parched and dry land. Lord, I also lift up our City Council as they make decisions that benefit our community. I pray for our city staff that they would be able to provide information that could be used to decide and make good decisions. Pray, Lord, for our community, that they would love one another and that they would improve the general community for all involved. And Lord, lastly, I pray for our firefighters and our policemen. Pray that you'd keep over them, watch over them, protect them, and keep them safe as they serve all of us in the community. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rob. Next written request to speak is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Kurt Hagman's office.
Well, good evening, Mayor Ulloa, Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, council members, staff, and of course, community members. My name is Melissa, here representing your county supervisor, Kurt Hagman, and this is it. This is our last reminder coming out for the shredding event taking place on this upcoming Saturday, March the 11th. And the time will be 9 to noon, or once the shredding truck reaches capacity. This event will be taking place in our neighboring city of Montclair at the City Hall at 5111 Benito Street in the city of Montclair. We do offer the opportunity to pre-register so that we have the information that we need before shredding at SBC for San Bernardino County, shredding 031123, so that's the date, .eventbrite.com. We encourage you to do that just to save a little bit of time, and that you limit your shredding materials to 3 standard size filing boxes of documents per vehicle. So this event will be taking place rain or shine, and unfortunately I won't be there on this particular event. So it may rain, but I won't be there to bring my sunshine, but I'll be at the following one, I'm sure. So we do encourage everyone, please get rid of those documents that are just hanging around that really don't need to be, and make sure that they don't get into the wrong hands. We'd love to help you with that, and it's all for free. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Those are the only 2 written requests I had to speak. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on any item not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. Do any council members wish to have any items pulled for discussion? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion and a second. Motion from Councilperson Flores, second from Councilperson Lucio, and the consent calendar passes unanimously. Next, under new business, we have item number 11, introduction of ordinance number 2023-006, council meeting starting times. This is to approve an ordinance to change the start time of the regular city council meetings to 6:00 p.m. and closed session to no sooner than 4 p.m. I'd like to ask for a staff report from our city attorney, Mr. Fred Galante.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and all those present. Following discussion at the City Council workshop on various matters, it was ascertained that the council believes that having earlier start times to the City Council meetings would allow more robust participation and would yield more convenience to the city's residents. So as a result, we've taken the option to create a proposed ordinance for the council's consideration. And before you is just a fairly simple change to your ordinance that changes the start time to from no earlier than 6 p.m. to no earlier than 4 p.m., with the council being able to adjust that as closed session matters are required. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none, any council comments? Seeing none, then I would entertain a motion and a second to approve the change of the council meetings. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, second from Councilmember Flores, and this item passes unanimously.
And since this is an ordinance, if I could just quickly read
Yes.
the title. Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 2023-006, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, amending chapters 2.04, City Council of the Chino Municipal Code concerning the regular meeting time for the City Council. Actually, that should read chapter rather than chapters, so we'll make that adjustment. Thank you.
And when does this go into effect, Fred?
There's a second reading that we'll have at your next council meeting, and then it takes effect 30 days later.
Okay, thank you very much. Item number 12, award of contract WA19C East Side Water Treatment Plant Paving Project. This is to award a contract to Mission Paving and Sealing Incorporated, Irwindale, California, in the amount of $89,798 for East Side Water Treatment Plant paving. Our staff report will be provided by Natalie Avila, Associate Engineer. Natalie?
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, and members of the audience. I'd like to revisit the progression of the Eastside Water Treatment Facility Phase 3 project, which includes the expansion of the existing treatment capacity from 3,500 gallons per minute to 7,000 gallons per minute, and a 4-mile dual 6-inch diameter brine disposal pipeline to discharge up to 30 gallons per minute of generated brine waste from EWTF to the Inland Empire Brine Line at approximately the intersection of Euclid Avenue and Kimball Avenue. The brine line has been completed while EWTF construction is approximately at 99% complete. Staff is still in the process of obtaining all necessary permits from the State Division of Drinking Water, the Inland Empire Utilities Agency for the wastewater discharge, and the County of San Bernardino for the hazardous material. This project will provide a site improvement by installing asphalt concrete pavement from the entry driveway up to the treatment building over the alignment of the recently installed brine line. On January 10th, 2023, the notice of inviting bids was published on Planet Bids website and locally in the Chino Champion newspaper on January 14th and 22nd. Staff received 9 bids in response to the solicitation, and Mission Paving and Sealing Incorporated, who is properly licensed as was determined to be the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. 2 bid schedules were included in the solicitation, with the base bid schedule listing all the required work and an additive bid schedule listing additional materials for construction. Staff is recommending that the city accept the base bid plus additive bid in the amount of $89,798.00 from Mission Paving and Sealing Incorporated. In addition, staff is requesting the authorization to spend up to $8,980 for construction management cost, $4,490 for inspection cost, and $8,980 for contingency cost. This brings the total potential project construction cost to $112,248. There are sufficient funds in the current capital improvement program for the project. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Natalie. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on this item? Seeing none, any council comments or questions?
Yeah. Have we ever done any business with Mission Paving and Sealing? Because, I mean, their bid's coming in almost $30,000 less than the second bidder, and you've got some that are actually 3 times as much as their current bid.
No, to my knowledge, Mission Paving and Sealing has not been a recent vendor of the city.
Do we, do we know of any projects that they've completed that they've, that have, actually come in and been successful and that they came in at the amount of money that they're actually bidding? Because, I mean, it just seems that they're so much lower than everybody else.
Sure. We did have an optional on-site visit that contractors were invited to attend. Mission Paving was one of them. So they had the opportunity to see the site. As far as the references that they provided to us in the bid proposal, I don't have that immediately handy, but I can definitely provide that to you at a later time. Staff did go through as a normal procedure to check out everything that was listed in their bid proposal and found no concerns.
Nothing concerning on the references or anything like that?
Correct, no concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, then we would need a motion and a second to approve item number 12. Motion from Councilmember Burton, second from Councilmember Flores. Item passes unanimously. Item number 13, approved construction contract increase, CP Construction Company Incorporated, SD 200. This is to appropriate $380,980 from the Storm Drain Fund and approve contract increase to contract number 2022-063 for CP Construction Company Incorporated. Maria Frazier will provide our staff report this evening. She's our CIP Engineering Manager.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, staff, and audience. I wanted to start by thanking the council for making storm drain construction a priority and providing us with the resources to construct the needed drainage infrastructure. The current storm season has been the most severe in the last few decades, but we're happy to report that we did not experience any major closures. We only had a few instances where debris blocked the entrances to catch basins, and those were quickly resolved. We're currently working on additional storm drain projects to make our systems even better. The Benson Avenue project was awarded on July 6th of 2021 in the amount of $1,848,455. During the construction, we encountered conflicts with existing utilities that required redesigning. We redesigned the storm line behind the power poles and avoided relocation of the poles. This required acquisition of construction easements from adjacent property owner. We also had to expedite the project to avoid conflicts with the construction of the development project along Philadelphia Avenue, which require also additional resources. The total of the change orders triggered by unforeseen conditions exceeded the allowed contingency and requires additional funds. The table included in the staff report includes change orders 1 through 4, and the total final construction amount of the project is $2,317,438.62. It is staff recommendation that council approves the staff report with the recommendations indicated. This concludes my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. This PowerPoint slide, you can see how the conditions were before we installed the storm drain, which triggers staff to go out numerous times and close out the street and help the residents to place sandbags so they wouldn't get flooded. And through the recent storms through December and just the recent ones, we can see the difference in the amount of flooding that occurs in the street.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria, for the report. Living in that area, I can attest to the difference now with that storm drain put in, because Benson Avenue was an absolute river. Plus all the dirt would wash onto the street, and it was quite a mess, so thank goodness for the storm drain. But I have to tell you, I'm dismayed at the amount of change orders. The dollar value, I understand a lot of it was due to requirements from our neighboring city and concerns that they had with some of their own sewer lines and that sort of thing. But it was a very, very desperately needed project. But I do have a question. There's temporary curbing now on the west side of Benson Avenue. That won't be completely alleviated and improved until development happens on that piece of property. Is that true?
That would be correct, and I believe one of the pieces on the northerly side is currently going through the process, and they will be required to install curb and gutter. We also, we're working with the property owner to acquire the right-of-way and move the power poles. And the property owner has requested that as part of our work, if it would be viable for us to underground, and that he would pay the difference. So as development comes in, the improvements will come with it.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Seeing none, comments or questions from council members? Okay, then we need a motion in a second to approve this item. Motion from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, second from Councilmember Burton. The item is approved unanimously. Next on the agenda is Mayor and Council reports. I have an item under number 14. It's Planning Commission appointment. This is to approve the appointment of Joanna Chavez to the Planning Commission. Councilman Burton and I conducted multiple interviews for applicants for the Planning Commission vacancy. And after much deliberation and reviewing the applications and talking to the people and actually conducting 2 different interviews on a couple of candidates to ensure that we made the right decision, I would like to request approval of the appointment to Joanna Chavez to the position of Planning Commission. She is an outstanding member of our community, has lived here for many, many years. And what I truly appreciate about her is her love of the community. Looking at our current makeup of the Planning Commission and how people, where their backgrounds are, where they live, how they interact with each other, we feel that she is going to be an absolute asset to our Planning Commission. She has a love for the community. She has an experience in a background that I believe that we need on the community, which is more family-oriented, neighborly, hometown type, maybe not the professional levels of some of our other planning commissioners, but it's a good balance, and I think she's going to be a valuable, valuable member. Curtis, would you like to make some comments?
I would echo what the mayor has said, and I would also like to thank Joanna and the other members that did apply, the applicants, for their willingness to step up to make a difference in the community. You don't see that happen very often, and I truly appreciate, Joanna, your dedication to the community and wanting to go further. I know that you were raised in this city. You know our core. You know what the goals are that we have and what we subscribe to. Even just during our conversation, right down to how she described the smell of Chino that she enjoys, that a lot of people still, for some reason, find offensive. I don't know why. But I would just like to thank Joanna for stepping up and her participation in the process.
And I have to warn the staff and the other planning commissioners, she's very data-driven. So I'm sure this gal's going to dig into the numbers and be questioning quite a bit when it comes to anything having to do with data. Joanna, would you like to come up and say a few words, please, before we take a motion and a vote?
Yes, I appreciate Mayor Aloya and Councilmember Burton your time during this wonderful interview process. I had a lot of fun. I have been here almost all my life. My parents and grandparents came here in the late 80s, early 90s, and they built their businesses here. I had my childhood here, and with the short stint in Washington, D.C., and in San Francisco, where I met my husband during COVID, I wanted to come back home, and home was here in Chino. I have, for the last year, volunteered my time, really tried to volunteer my time, work with kids here in the city. Last weekend, I was at the 5K race as a course marshal, and I really want to take the time to take every proposal seriously. Like you said, ask a lot of questions, think seriously about the data, and see how I can work with the Planning Commission and the City Council to continue to support this city.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And with that, I would entertain a motion and a second to appoint Joanna.
You know, I just wanted to say some things. So I saw this on the agenda. I really didn't, I had no information on you at all, and thankfully I was able to call Curtis, and we had a long conversation. He explained to me all your background and everything, because really up until today, I had no information on where you lived, where you've worked, anything like that, and then to be told, hey, make a vote whether or not you accept this candidate. It seemed kind of surprising, because I think this time we didn't get the applications like we normally do. And so we had actually no idea how many people applied, who applied, any backgrounds and all that. But I'm glad that I had a long conversation with Curtis today. He explained to me all why you stood out to him, why he felt you were the best candidate. And based on the long conversation I had with him, I'm comfortable making that decision today. I just wish I would have had this information a little earlier, so that we could have. I wouldn't have had to do it at the last minute, but I appreciate the fact that you're that you're interested in coming back and giving back to the community. And I'm excited to have you here. Obviously, we are looking for people that are family-oriented because we want people that could be on the commission that are, that have a family and they want the city to develop in a way that is always thinking of family first. So I appreciate everything that you've done so far to get to this point, and I'll make the motion.
It's already been made.
Okay. I'll second it.
It's already been made.
All right.
Okay, if everyone can vote, please. There's a motion from Councilman Burton, second from myself, and the item passes unanimously. I would like to ask our city clerk, Natalie, to come up, please, and provide the oath to Joanna. Joanna, would you like your family to come up and stand with you as well? Come around on this side so the camera can get you.
Thank you, Natalie. I, Joanna Chavez, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of invasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Thank you. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you.
Next on the agenda is mayor and council reports. We report on things that we've attended, what we've done between the last council member and today. So on the 22nd, which was a Wednesday, February 22nd, we all attended Student Government Day. And then Mayor Pro Tem Comstock and I met with videoed with our consultant and our city manager regarding pending legislation in Sacramento. On Friday the 24th, I met with Blackwood Development and Whittingham Public Affairs regarding a development that they're involved in. On Tuesday the 28th, I attended the Chino Valley Prayer Breakfast. The keynote speaker was Darryl Strawberry. It was attended by 750 people. It has grown tremendously over the last 4 years. I don't know where they're going to have it next year, because they're estimating there might be as many as 1,000 people there. So we've tasked City Manager Reich with finding a location so that we can host it here in Chino. I also attended the City Manager weekly meeting. On Thursday, March 2nd, I attended the Water Facilities Authority Technical Committee. And then, can't even read my own writing. Oh, Councilman Burton and I had our last interview for Planning Commission, or no, I'm sorry, it was with our council liaison position. We had our interview with that person. Then I had an Omnitrans Zoom. I attended the police department swearing in ceremony for our Deputy Chief Kevin Menson, as well as some other new police officers and some promotions. I also attended the Inland Empire Utilities Agency Sewage Policy Committee. Then on Monday, March 6th, yesterday, I filmed 2 of the mayor messages and the intro and outro to our strategic plan video. And then today we had City Manager Reich and I and Councilman Flores attended the Monte Vista Water District Plant 30 wellhead treatment ribbon cutting held in Montclair. You know, it's amazing to think of the millions and millions of dollars that are spent so that we all can enjoy fresh, pure water. It's absolutely amazing. And the U.S. government keeps changing the contaminant levels that are allowed in the water, which is increasing the amount of money required to treat the contaminants in an amazing, amazing amount. One gentleman made an example today, the treatment facility that Monte Vista's built that serves part of our city. If you take a large swimming pool, one of the contaminants, nitrates, it's the equivalent of putting 2 pounds of a material in a swimming pool. You have to treat and get all that out. 123 TCP, the amount that they have to get out of the water is 1/8 of a teaspoon in a great big swimming pool. So the cost to remove that kind of contaminant level it's shocking. It is shocking, and they're tightening the levels even more, even though the World Health Organization doesn't demand that kind of stringent regulation. EPA requires it in the United States, and the costs are just astronomical. So I know we complain about our water rates going up, but trust me, we all spend $6, $7 on a cup of coffee from Starbucks. We're getting a deal with the water that comes right out of our tap. And even though we've had a lot of rain, I encourage you all, please don't waste water, because this rain still isn't going to resolve all of our drought issues. It certainly is going to help. But water is a very, very precious resource, and without it, we don't have life. So that's one expense that I'm afraid we're going to be burdened with going into the future. That's going to hit all of our pocketbooks, but thankfully we have fresh, drinkable water. Mayor Pro Tem Comstock.
Thank you, Mayor. On Wednesday, February 22nd, I attended the Legislative Policy Committee meeting with the mayor and our lobbyists and our city staff. If you haven't had a chance to read the edition of our legislative committee, the legislation that we're following as a city that's being vetted through Sacramento, it's almost mind-boggling. One of the things we learned in this meeting was, annually, Sacramento has proposed over probably 2,600 new laws. And so it's important that we track the laws and the legislation that is most important to us is going to affect us at the local level. And I really am in favor with the new approach that we're using, Mayor, with our lobbyists and meeting, and now reporting out to our residents and community and business owners about some of those things that are of concern to us, so you can read those in each of our council reports. And the way it's listed is nice. There's a description from Jack Morgan, as well as in red is our information that we're concerned about, or some of the things that we're looking at as we track this legislation. Later that day, I attended a special meeting with our Planning Commission, meeting here in the council chambers. This is a long-standing issue. The meeting was in regard to a proposed island annexation and related development activity in this area. On February 27th, I attended my weekly meeting with the city manager. Later that same evening, I also attended the Community Services Commission meeting. And Mayor, I just have to praise the members of our Community Services Commission, including our staff, and just the work that they do at all these events. It's impressive, it's hard work, it requires, the strongest component of this is teamwork from almost every department in the city. I mean, that doesn't just mean our community services department, our police department, our fire department, our public works department. We have a phenomenal team, and each time I go to that meeting, I'm very impressed with what they do. They basically highlight the best of what Chino has to offer as a resident here, and I just have to thank them each time I go to that meeting and look at that and thank them for their work. On Tuesday, February 28th, as the mayor touched on, I also attended the Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast in the city of Chino Hills. I have to tell you, this is just an amazing event, and the mayor, as the mayor explained, has just grown over the years. We listened to Darryl Strawberry give a powerful testimony of redemption, salvation, and faith. If you haven't had a chance to attend one, please attend next year. It's a great opportunity to just network with people that are local in your community and to listen to some very powerful stories. Mayor Chino turned 113 years old on February 28th. And happy birthday, Chino. And we are well underway into our second century of cityhood. I'm proud to live in Chino. I'm proud of everything that we've accomplished since becoming a city. And we are just, that was a fun day to celebrate our city birthday, so I attended that birthday celebration, and that was a cool post on the city website, Ariana, so thank you very much. On Saturday, March 4th, I attended the starting ceremonies for the Derriere Youth Fun Run and 5K race. As you may or may not know, all the proceeds for this event go to the Chino Youth Museum. And I want to thank everyone that participated, our residents, our staff again, and our very, very loyal supporters of the Chino Youth Museum. If as a resident you haven't had a chance to drop in on the Chino Youth Museum and take one of your children to that location, please do. It's fun, it's educational, and it's a great place to take kids for a little break and let them run off some energy. So the Chino Youth Museum, if you haven't checked it out, go for it, right here at D and 6th Street here in Chino. At 9 a.m. that same morning, I, along with several members of the City Council, attended the opening ceremonies for Chino National Little League. Mayor Ulloa and our Community Services Commission Chairman Bobby Martinez were asked to throw out the ceremonial first pitch. That was a lot of fun to watch. Mayor, I thought you have a great arm. I think you could still do some pitching, some professional pitching if you needed to.
I hit the dirt.
Yeah, well, you made it. And of course, our own Community Services Commission chairperson, Bobby Martinez, was also selected, and that was nice. It was just so cool to see all the kids look so sharp in their uniforms, and the parents looked happy. They administered that oath to the kids. The kids had no problems with it, but some of the oaths for the parents were like, especially when they talked about respecting all the umpires' calls. It was just a great day. I see Kevin Cisneros here, who's heavily involved in Chino National Little League. How nice for Bobby's son to be able to catch the first pitch for him, both of who have played in Chino National. And I'm also a product of local Chino sports. So thank you to all the parents and volunteers that, not just sports, but activities here in Chino that are so powerful and helpful to our kids. On Monday, March 6th, I attended a meeting with the city manager, our new assistant city manager, and our city attorney, which brings me to today, where I attended a closed session before today's council meeting. It's also Women's History Month, Mayor. I want to thank you and all the mentors and great women in our lives who have influenced me and so many others in your position right now, Mayor. You're an inspiration to all of us. You do a great job. And to me, you know, one of the most important women in my life is my mother. I saw that our new commissioner, Planning Commissioner Knight, had her mother with her. To all the great and strong women in our community, just thank you for everything you've done. Boy, Los Portales, we have a trend here in Chino, recognizing businesses of the month. We have great local family restaurants. We have great local family-owned businesses anyway. Small businesses power our community. We know how important they are. Zeb did a great job from the chamber tonight. But if you haven't had a chance to stop in the Los Portales and grab some grub, go for it, because it's good. And then I'm just going to close tonight, Mayor, on I don't know if the community knows this, but on Tuesday, March 14th, the Chino Unified School District is going to be dedicating a gymnasium to Mr. Mark Hargrove. Regretfully, I'm going to be out of the state for the next week, and I'm not going to make this ceremony, but I just wanted to congratulate the entire Hargrove family on this honor. Mark would be so proud, and this is a very nice and fitting tribute to him for all of his service and sacrifice to our community. And that concludes my report tonight, Mayor. Thank you very much.
It is going to be a really, really nice event, and I skipped right over Saturday with the Derriere Run and the National Little League opening ceremonies, but also at the Derriere Run, Wilma Stevie, who's the 99-year-old lady that participated in the Run for Russ, she was there at the Derriere to go through that. And talk about, you know, embarrassing. We have this 99-year-old delightful lady who does 5K walks, and here we are wimping out not doing it. So it's like, I think we all should be embarrassed, and we should all start participating.
We had some place to be, Mayor. We had to be at Chino
We had to be at the Chino National. It was a good excuse, but still. And she's going to be 100 years old next month.
Impressive.
Amazing. And she's just an amazing gal. But I want to thank Kevin also, because he provided me with some notes that I was able to say Saturday morning. And there's like 6,500 Little League associations in over, is it 60 countries? And that's really amazing. And this Saturday was our very own National Little League's 70th anniversary. So that was really cool. So it was fun, and I agree with you. It's so much fun to watch the kids and their teams, you know, walk the bases and get introduced. And it's from T-ball, the little bitty guys who, you know how it is with little bitty kids. I mean, they can't even walk a straight line. They get so distracted. So from them all the way to the high schoolers that are playing, so it was really fun. Councilman Burton.
Thank you, Mayor. I, on the 22nd, attended the Student Government Day right here in the council chambers. It was a lot of fun, and I think the students from the Chino Unified School District got a lot out of it. I think they learned a lot of great things, and I appreciated the comments that the other council members have made to these students that are up and comers for sure, wanting to get involved, which is absolutely incredible. So thank you. On the 27th, my one-on-one with the city manager. I also attended a meeting with Development Services and the representatives from the East Serang Community Church in reference to a possible zone amendment change issue. Later in the evening, I attended the Community Services Commission meeting. On the 28th, the Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, and then I came in and attended the City of Chino birthday celebration, again, 113 years old. We went out onto the lawn and took a picture with a cow, and everybody had cowbells, which is pretty neat. Later on, I went to the Chino Police Department, and Lieutenant Kelleher and Sergeant Franks hosted a tour for me of the Real-Time Crime Center. And I was a police officer in this city for 30 years. This was not in existence when I was there, and I can tell you right now how impressed I was. The major crimes that can be solved as a result of this real-time crime center will be very, very beneficial. So thank you. Chief, if you can thank Lieutenant Kelleher and Sergeant Franks, I'd appreciate it.
Including Puffy Coat? Sure.
And the Puffy Coat Bandit. Oh, boy.
Inside joke.
Yeah, March 1st. Let's move along, please.
You're going to have to kind of explain that.
You know, the Puffy Coat Bandit case was a robbery series. The suspect came through the Chino area. He robbed our Citizens Business Bank one occasion, and with the top-notch police work that went on, we were able to apprehend the individual, and he gave us a full confession. So.
And what did you call him? The Puffy
The
Coat?
Puffy
FBI
Coat
always
Bandit.
dubs these guys kind of unusual names.
He had a down jacket that he wore on all of his robberies, so they get names, different names, as you probably know. So he was deemed the Puffy Coat Bandit.
And were you instrumental in catching him?
Well, I was part of the investigation, and like I said, it was a major investigation that occurred in the city. On March 1st, I had the great honor to attend the Day of the Young Reader at Howard Cattle Elementary School. I went to Mrs. Garrison's second grade class, and I read Where the Wild Things Are to a group of second graders, and I just had a great time, and these kids are incredible. Mrs. Garrison has been part of the school district for many, many years, and as a matter of fact, she was all three of my kids' second grade teacher, and she's still there. So it was pretty neat to be able to go back and do that for her classroom. On the 2nd, with the mayor, I attended the council liaison candidate interview, and then I went to the swearing-in promotional ceremony at the Chino Police Department. Later on that evening, I attended the Chino Valley Unified School Board meeting. On the 4th, with other council members, I attended the Derriere 5K run at Ayala Park. And I also want to give a shout out to Mrs. Wilma Stevie, 99 years old. But I also want to give a shout out to Steve Lewis. Steve, I know you're out there. Can you stand up real quick? I want everybody to look at you.
His dinosaur.
Steve had a dinosaur costume on, and he was out there racing the kids on the fun run. Steve, I really appreciated your energy and going out and doing that. It was absolutely outstanding. Thank you for participating in that. Steve is also one of our longtime planning commissioners. So Steve is very, very involved in the community, and I thank you, Steve, for that. After the Derriere, we went to Chino National Little League opening day, as the mayor and Council had mentioned at Heritage Park. I'd like to give a shout out to Kevin Cisneros, who is our chairman of our Planning Commission. Kevin, can you stand up? Kevin does an incredible job on our Planning Commission, but that day he was just at Little League. He was out there just being a dad and emceeing the event and did such a great job. Kevin, thank you for doing that and your volunteering with the community. You've been doing it a long, long time. I want you to know I appreciate it. Also, at the Little League function, our Chino Police Officers Association volunteered, and they came out and did a pancake breakfast for all the parents. And that's just what our police officers do in this city. The fire does a lot as well, but I didn't see any firemen out there, sir. But, you know, I'm sure that they were out there rolling up the hoses somewhere, but that's okay. But I do appreciate the hard work that our Police Officers Association put in that day in giving back to the community. On the 6th, I attended my one-on-one with the city manager, and then I attended the Planning Commission meeting last night. We had a lot of things going on last night in our meeting. Our Planning Commission does incredible work. The amount of reading and research that goes into these projects, not from just our staff, but again, our commission, the time that they put into this is incredible. So Joanna, you're gonna have your hands full. I hope you like to read because you're going to be doing a lot of it. But you're gonna have a lot of help. So, and I wanted to welcome you once again to the commission. And I want to thank the Legislative Policy Committee for putting together an incredible comprehensive report for us. It's really nice to see pending legislation come in and made it really easy to read the report. Everything was listed in red. And in particular, I was looking at Senate Bill 250 by Freddie Rodriguez that is going to relinquish Euclid Avenue to the city, and that's pending, as well as SB 536 by Senator Rubio for the possible sale to the city of the Youth Authority. So I appreciate all that, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you very much for putting that report together, and Jack, wherever you are. And then I want to close as Mayor Pro Tem did, congratulating the Hargrove family, dedicating the new gym in honor of Council Member Mark Hargrove. So that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Flores.
Thank you, Mayor. On the 22nd of February, I attended the 2023 Student Government Day and Luncheon. And on the 24th through the 26th, I had the opportunity to go on a 3-day tour with the Metropolitan Water District on their Lower Colorado River inspection trip, so that was pretty amazing. On the 27th of February, I attended the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce Board meeting. On the 28th of February, I attended the 2023 Chino Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. And that same day, again, as was mentioned earlier, it was the 113th city birthday celebration. So that was pretty awesome. Also, I had my one-on-one with City Manager, Dr. Linda Wright, that day. On the 1st of March, I attended the Omnitrans Board of Directors meeting via Zoom. On the 2nd of March, I attended the CVUSD board meeting. On the 3rd of March, I attended the Leadership Collaborative and Value Veterans Program fundraising event. On the 4th of March, I attended the Chino Youth Museum Dairy Air 5K and Fun Run. And that same day, I attended the Chino National Little League Opening Day. On the 5th of March, I attended this was 2 days ago, I attended the Alice in Wonderland play that's put on by our 7th Street Theater. Pretty awesome. If you guys have a chance, I suggest you guys check it out. On the 7th of March today, I attended the Plant 30 Wildhead Treatment Project ribbon cutting with Mayor Eunice Ulloa and City Manager Dr. Linda Wright. And I just want to give a special happy birthday wish to a valued community member in our city, Linda Flathers. I want to congratulate Zeb and the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce team. I want to congratulate Joanna Chavez on your swearing in. And last but not least, this Saturday on the 11th of March, the Seroptimus International is having their Stepping Up program over at Chino High School. So if you have a sixth grader going into seventh grade, if you have a daughter in sixth grade going into seventh, this is specifically for those girls. And I encourage again everyone to sign up, and a special shout out to the Seroptimus and Chairperson Charlene King for putting that together. And that concludes my comments, Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Lucio.
Well, mine's going to be pretty short. I was gone pretty much midweek for 2 weeks in a row. The first week I headed up to Bakersfield for the state championship wrestling. 3 of the Chino High School kids did make it up there. Unfortunately, none of them placed. But while I was up there, it was raining quite a bit, and I experienced the closure of the 5, the Grapevine, the 58, and all the way up to the 158, where they were doing escorts. But it took me literally 9 hours to get up there. But as all that was going on, I was thinking, we're doing pretty good. I haven't got anything from the preserve, and then all of a sudden, the following week, we ended up getting something from the preserve because of some storm drains that were flooded as a result of the airport. And so because of that, we're going to be having a meeting on the 13th to address some of the concerns, obviously, with Bickmore being closed, some of the flooding that occurred up there, and then some of the development that's going on, and then obviously some of the future projects that we're going to have. But that's going to take place, I believe, at 6:30 on Monday, and we rescheduled it so that we wouldn't conflict with Mark Hargrove's dedication. I would also, and the following weekend, I also was out of town. We had a family vacation. We went to spring training, so I wasn't able to attend a lot of the events that you guys attended. But that was actually a very nice weekend up there, and it was nice to get away for 2 weeks in a row, except for the commuting that occurred up in Bakersfield. But I would like to congratulate my son. My son did place at state. He ended up taking 6th place, so he's the 6th best wrestler in the state of California at 113 pounds. And then I also want to congratulate the Hargrove family for getting that gym dedicated to Mark. Mark did a lot for Chino High School. He was a booster president, and he was always heavily involved in all the sports there, especially with his daughters playing sports while they were at Chino High School. I, too, also want to recognize all the women that have led the way. I can tell you right now, my biggest role model is not my father. It was actually my mother. My mother was always the person that basically told you, continue to work hard. You got to surpass me. You got to do everything to make yourself better than I did. And if you're more successful than I am, then I accomplished my job. My father really he wasn't that inspirational, but he was a good father too. But my mom was always the one that was the go-getter. So my hat's off to all women. Mayor, you being one of them. You've been here involved for the past 40 years here in the city. Karen also, for being the chief of police here, and then obviously my wife being also a strong person and a role model as well, and a great mother. So my hat's off to all you women that are leading the way. Unfortunately, we as men need to step up because we're taking a second step to what you guys are accomplishing. But that just raises the bar. It raises the bar for all of us. So if you guys keep evolving, then we have to keep evolving, and if we all evolve together, we're going to make the world a better place. So. That's all I have. And Joanna, congratulations on your appointment. Thank you.
City Manager Reich.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. I do have a few items. Council member Lucio mentioned that workshop in the preserve on the 13th, but we also have 2 other workshops that we're going to be doing on the 13th. Starting at 4, we're going to talk about our water infrastructure, and we're also going to talk about the upcoming street sweeping program that'll be starting in the city. So we encourage our residents to come out and listen to what's going on with both of those items. We do have a number of workshops scheduled between March, April, and May. Those workshops we've talked about in the past. So in April, we do have a couple more workshops. We're going to talk about areas within the city where we're short on parkland. So that's coming up on April 11th. We're also going to do a presentation on our homeless program and what that looks like here in the city of Chino. That'll also be on the 11th. We have a few more workshops coming up. We don't have the dates yet, but as they come, I'll give an update. One workshop that we'd like to, talk about to provide clarity for staff so that, Mark's comments today about the commission, maybe we schedule something so we can get clarity for staff on how to move forward. So that's another one that we'd like to talk about. And that's it for tonight.
Okay. City Attorney Galante.
No report. Thank you, Mayor.
Police Chief Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. We've got lots of stuff going on I wanted to share with you and our community. This Friday, March 10th, we'll be conducting a DUI checkpoint within the city. We don't advertise the location, but know that we are doing it, and we do this with funding from the Office of Traffic Safety. Again, it's to educate people not to drink and drive, not to use other substances that alter you, and people to realize that if you get caught under the influence while operating a vehicle, it's a minimum fine of $13,500 plus all the other things that come with it. And then on Saturday, March 11th, we are doing our Listos program, which is our Spanish emergency preparedness. It's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That Saturday at the Chino Police Department. And then Tuesday, March 14th at 6 p.m., we're hosting our annual community engagement meeting, which is required by Assembly Bill 481. If you remember, we brought that to you last year. It's what was called the military equipment bill, where we have to share with you and the community the various equipment that we use as a police department to keep this community safe. Again, it's a misnomer. We do not use equipment from the military. But that's what they called it, and so we'll be sharing that with the community and then bringing that back to council next month. That's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
No questions this evening. Thank you. Fire Chief Williams, welcome back.
Mayor, thank you, council. I really don't have a lot to report tonight other than just be aware that on the 23rd of this month, we will be submitting our proposal to the county in an attempt to secure the ambulance services. The county will make their decision May 22nd. I know it sounds kind of like a broken record, but that's been top priority for us over here at the fire district, and we continue to work on it. And that's all I have.
So we will find out definitely on May 22nd?
That's the scheduled, so we submit this March 23rd. My understanding is they're supposed to make their decision and announce it, I would assume, that same in that same time frame on May 22nd. So I don't, unless something changes, that's my understanding.
Oh, we sure hope you get it.
Yeah, we do too.
Okay, thank you very much.
And Mayor, Chief, I appreciate all the hard work that your firefighters do, and I just want to give a shout out to Harvey Luth and Sarah Evinger for being in the audience tonight. They're part of the fire board. Thank you very much for being part of our meeting this evening.
So I'll say thank you on behalf of the fire district for them. So thank you.
You're welcome. And with that, we are going to recess back into closed session. But when we return, we'll be adjourning to our next meeting that will be held, the workshop on Monday, March 13th at 4 o'clock here in the council chambers. And then our next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, March 21st at 7 o'clock with closed session at 6 if needed. So with that, we are going to recess back into closed session.